What's going on? Welcome back to another figure review. As a matter of fact, this is more so of a reunion between two old friends. But you know what? In honor of this guy coming back, which I will explain later on, I gotta start this video off in a more appropriate way. Check this out. Yes, now we can finally do this.
Yeah! Are y'all ready? Are y'all ready? What? Yeah! Y'all ready to play some football? Just let's go! If you want it, you can get it. Let me know.
What's going on, people? LB2000 right back at you with another figure review, and today I'm doing the X Plus 30 centimeter Godzilla 1984 from the epic, iconic, classic film that started the Heisei Godzilla series, The Return of Godzilla, or as it came to us in the US, Godzilla 1985. And as you can see, I got the figure here. I don't have the box because there's a little bit of a backstory behind this figure and behind me having this figure now, and which I will go into right now. First of all, huge thank you and shout out to Ricca Melillo. I'm sorry if I'm killing your name, man. I really am. Thank you for hooking me up with this figure. I really do appreciate it. But the story is, I had this figure a long time ago. I had this figure, actually this was my very first X Plus figure purchase. This is the very first one I ever got from X Plus. I had the Rick board. When the gigantic GMK X Plus figure came out, I wasn't really a fan of it at first, but then later on, I changed my mind thanks to my beautiful wife, and I had to find ways to try and get it. And one of the ways that I did was I ended up selling my original Godzilla 1984 figure to get the money for the GMK. But lo and behold, some events unraveled, and some luck was able to steer my way, and I was able to recapture this figure again. And I'm really happy that I'm able to get my hands on this figure. It really is an awesome piece. And because of that, and thanks to Michael Chakowski from the Vampire Robots, he broke the news a couple weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, that Diamond's going to be reissuing this figure at some point. And so in honor of that, and in honor of me getting my hands on this figure again, I figured I'd do a review on this epic figure. So, you know how we do things around here. Like I said, I don't have the box because it came in loose or whatever, but it was the typical artwork on the box, you know, with Godzilla, his face in the background, with the Japanese language title of the film, blah, 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 blah. But this is one of the rare occasions that I'm fine without the box, because it's really the figure that matters most. So speaking of that, let's go into detail, up close and personal with this awesome figure. Let's go. Okay, folks, here's the figure up close and personal. Yes, here it is, the 1984 Godzilla, and this really is an awesome piece. You know, there are many other reviewers out there that have reviewed this figure, and all of them have been really top-notch reviews. And basically, we're going to echo the same thing. This is really is a great figure to have. Don't be distracted by my wife's gigantic series back there. But this really is an awesome figure. The paint scheme on it is very superb. Very awesome, you know, with the charcoal black skin, charcoal gray on Godzilla's skin. The texture on his skin is very good. This is X Plus. You already know what's going on. You know that they take the time to recreate every detail about the suit, which is really, really, really awesome. Even right here to his to pronounce musculature in his thighs here. Of course, Godzilla during the Heisei period, he would come to have more thicker thighs. I don't understand that. But he would have to come thicker thighs here. But I think this is really proportionate, especially when it came to the suit. You know what I'm saying? Now you might want to argue that maybe the head is maybe a little bit big, and as the suits went on over time, the underbody got bigger and bigger and bigger, and the head got smaller and smaller and smaller. But overall, if you look at the overall presentation of this figure, it really is really well proportioned. His pose. More so a tap pose, or more so of a pose where he's, just wandering around, because that's how this Godzilla was in this film, which I would touch on later on with my thoughts on the film. More of attack, or just more standard Godzilla pose with his arms, or whatever, being out like that and everything. The detail on the claws is very, very good. Hopefully getting the focus here, maybe. With the off-white bone color on the claws as well as on the toes here. Dorsal plates. Nice dorsal plates. That's one thing about me, like I said before, I'm really a fan of Godzilla's dorsal plates. It's really one of the most striking features about Godzilla as far as his suits, or as far as him as a kaiju. I'm really fascinated by his Godzilla's dorsal plates, the arrangement, the shapes, and all the good stuff about the dorsal plates. It's really, really, really good. And that's what's captured this really, really, really awesome. And going towards the Heisei series, he did accumulate a lot more dorsal plates, more so than the Showa version. As you can see, every detail, every dorsal plate, from the color where you have the bone white on the tip, as well as the gray is going towards the base of the body here. Every dorsal plate is sculpted with care, colored with care. It's just even down to the smaller dorsal plates going down to his tail. Speaking of his tail is more upright, which I really, really, really like. He may be a shelf hog because of that, but there's ways to work around it. But I'm digging how the tail is here. As a matter of fact, when it comes to S Plus, I really like how they really do different poses when it comes to their tails. Some tails are upwards like this. Some tails are laying flat on the ground. Some tails are going up and then going down again. So I'm glad that S Plus really diversified when it comes to their sculpts, especially when it comes to the tail arrangement. But yes, this is really, really good from the back side here. Awesome. Really, really, really awesome. It really does capture the suit. There's some articulation here in his lower thighs. You can move them just a little bit, but it's not really meant to be moved like that. I mean, you can probably turn them inwards or whatever, but it's not really, it wouldn't look right with Godzilla having his inner thighs turned in like that. But yes, and I think a lot of folks are really, I guess take exception to the fact that he's kind of like thin when it comes to his abdomen here. But if you watch the film, Godzilla wasn't really that bulky like that. At least this Godzilla. Like I said, towards the tail end of the Heisei series, he would get real bulky. You see what I mean? So, but yeah, so I think this really captures the 84 Godzilla perfectly. And for me, besides the dorsal plate arrangements, love that poster by the way. Besides the dorsal plate arrangements, it's his face is really the selling point for me. From his fangs, the coloring of his tongue, and he probably can't really get the focus very well. But his eyes are really, 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 really awesome. I think it has like a shade of green in them with black pupils. Also with the white eyes, you have like little red veins inside the eyes. Just those incredible attention to detail is awesome. It really, really is, and it really makes X Plus, I guess, just one of the best kaiju collecting companies ever, because they take attention to they pay attention to the details of the suit, as far as the eyes. When it comes to the Showa suits or other suits, they poke little holes in it, to signify where the actor had to breathe and look out of. So it's just those details is just really, really, really awesome, and this is a really, really awesome piece. And like I mentioned before, thank you to Michael Chakowski. who broke the news. This figure is gonna be reissued, and according to pictures that I've seen, it looks like it's gonna have like a hinged jaw, an articulated jaw, where you can move the jaw upwards so to be a closed mouth position, have it open like this. I think, just by the pictures that I saw, that's what it looks like to me. And I think that's going to be really cool because it gives Godzilla a different expression when it has its mouth open like this and closed. And some folks say it didn't look right, but I think it looked all right. You know, we'll have to see in the coming months when it does get released to us. But when it does, I highly suggest you pick this figure up. I really, really do. This is really, really, really awesome. And you see a front view here. Just a scary, ferocious looking Godzilla. And you know what? His look didn't really signify how he was in the film, to be honest with you. But like I said, I'll go into that later on. Yes, from any angle you look at this figure, this Godzilla figure, he looks absolutely awesome. Now, 25 centimeter Godzilla 1984, I don't really have it. But according to reviews and pictures I've seen, it looks more like the Cybot Godzilla. That version of Godzilla right there, it looks more so like that. And a lot of folks say it doesn't really look right. But when it comes to this figure, I can't see how anybody say that this figure doesn't look right. Awesome, imposing, intimidating, ferocious, just an all-powerful looking version of Godzilla. And X Plus captured this perfectly. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for us, the detail and everything about this figure. And let's go into size comparisons. Matter of fact, let's go into size comparisons right now. Let me get the original OG. Okay, there it is, the Godzilla 1954 down reissue. And as you can see, as far as suit accuracy goes, or at least size accuracy goes, this wasn't how it was supposed to be. The Godzilla 84 should be bigger than the 54. So I think that's where S Plus took its liberties a little bit too far, a little bit. They're still awesome figures, don't get me wrong, but the size are just not right, especially when it comes to storyline purposes. Because in the original Godzilla 54 film, whether you watch the Japanese version or the American version, in the Japanese version, he's 50 meters tall, which translates to 164 feet tall. Whereas in the Japanese version and American version, for that matter, Godzilla is 80 meters tall, which translates to 262. So in essence, this Godzilla should be this Godzilla size, storyline wise. Also, doesn't do any favors that in the American version, this Godzilla was supposed to be 400 feet tall. So with that piece of information, this kind of looks right if you go by the American version. But yeah, but these are very, very awesome piece, and it's really fitting since this figure and this suit and this movie is a direct sequel to this film. And there's a great correlation between the two. And I love both of these films. Both of them being solo Godzilla films, which I will touch on later on. But yes, that is the first size comparison right there. Very, very awesome. The 54 and the 84. 30 years of awesomeness right here. All right. Now, let me go to another size comparison. And this is going to be more interesting in a way. Or at least on the same par in a way. Okay, you have the Godzilla 2014 figure right here. And I, just wanted to put this up there because, they're both basically reboots. And I made a post on Facebook a couple of days ago about which is the better of the two as far as the reboot and as far as figures. And the results, or at least the reaction I've seen from people, they generally tend to lean towards the 84, but there are some folks out there that tend to lean that generally tends to lead toward the 2014. And you know what? I like them both. I really do. But for me personally, I kind of lean towards the 84. Excuse me, 84. 84, excuse me. 54 is down here. I tend to lean towards the 84. That doesn't mean that I don't like the 2014. I do. I really do. I just think, for me, I like the 84 film a little bit better. Both figures are really, really awesome. My only gripe with the 84 figure that I wish it could be a little bit bigger. That's been also another gripe with folks that, even though it's awesome on its own, detail-wise, sculpt-wise, paint-wise, the whole 9 yards, we just wish it to be a little bit bigger. You know what I'm saying? So, but it was fun this past week putting that post up between these two and just seeing the reaction. As a matter of fact, the reactions were really, really good. There were some folks that liked the 84, they didn't like the 2014. And there are some that liked the 2014 that didn't like the 84. And there are some that liked both but didn't know which way they want to go. So it was just fun just to see the reaction and interaction with people. And you know what? There were no arguments. There were no personal attacking. There weren't anything like that, which is really, really good because nowadays, people are very, very sensitive. And, sometimes it's hard to express an opinion without getting attacked for it personally. So it was nice, just to see everybody come together and have different opinions, but yet still were able to conduct themselves in a very adult and very mature manner. And I really do enjoy that. And that was really one of the purposes of me doing that. Just to also create general conversations like, the correlation between these two films and how they fare amongst the fan base. But just to prove that, that once we get our heads on right, we can come together and have different opinions and still interact with each other in a nice and calm and mature manner. And I really enjoy seeing that. So thank you to all of y'all that posted on my posts about this and being professional and being courteous to one another. That's what it's all about. And that's what we should really get back to. Really, really do. So thank y'all so much for that. All right. So yeah, that's it for us, the size comparison. So I'm just going to go head first into my thoughts on the film and more so of a backstory about this film as relates to my kaiju collecting, because it's really kind of an in-depth story, so to speak. So let me just get set up here and we'll wrap this figure review up. All right. Sit tight. Okay, folks, I'm back, and let's just go ahead and finish off this review with my thoughts of Godzilla 1985 or the Return of Godzilla 1984. For nostalgia purposes, this is one of the earliest Godzilla films that I've ever seen. Mind you, y'all know, at least most of y'all know, my first entry into the series was Godzilla vs. Megalon. A very campy, lighthearted fare. But still, that was more than enough for me to want to know more about Godzilla. And I came across Godzilla 1985 after watching other Godzilla films like Godzilla vs. the Sea Monster, Godzilla vs. Monster Zero, Son of a Godzilla, Godzilla vs. Gigan, all that good stuff. And Godzilla 1985 is one of those films, because I grew up on Godzilla 1985. I didn't see the Japanese version until later on, until I was like an adult. But now that I'm older, I'm able to look at it from a different set of eyes than I did when I was a kid. Now, mind you, I did enjoy Godzilla 1985 when I did saw it, or when I did see it. I mean, it was Godzilla. He was destroying the city. So, of course, as a child, you're fascinated by stuff like that. But I think, for me, I appreciate it more now as an adult, because I'm able to understand more about the film and stuff like that. Because back then, when you were a kid, at least I was, when I was a kid, I was more prone to see Godzilla fighting other monsters or aliens or whatever. Now, I did see the original Godzilla 54 film or whatever, but majority of the films I saw had Godzilla fighting another monster or something else in the film besides him. So when I saw Godzilla 1985, I liked it, but I didn't really appreciate it as I do now because of there wasn't a lot of monster conflicts or anything involved with the film. But now I'm able to look at it with a different set of eyes, and I actually appreciate it more. And I'm fascinated by this film because I really enjoy this film. And a lot of people make the mistake or the misconception that because Godzilla is alone in this film, like he was in the 54 film, it's kind of like the same type of film or whatever. But in my opinion, this is my opinion, both Godzillas in both films are different. In the original Godzilla 54 film, he was just more so as a reminder, a dark reminder. If you mess with the environment or if you mess with nature, there's going to be bad consequences. And Godzilla was the embodiment of those consequences in the most dark, most destructive way. And, he will come through the cities and destroy them and set fire to the people. He was just a death reminder of that. He was death incarnate, basically. Basically, he was nature's retribution. But in this Godzilla film, Godzilla 1985, he doesn't really exhibit those type of hateful traits as the original 54 film. In this film, he seems more like of a hurricane, which is why I'm glad they included Raymond Burr in the plot of Godzilla 1985 film. Even though he doesn't offer any kind of like, I guess, information to try and stop Godzilla, he is there to let the Americans know what kind of force they are dealing with. And to compare him to a hurricane is really, really appropriate, and it's really fitting for this Godzilla, or Godzilla in general, really. More so Godzilla as a hurricane, because think about it. A hurricane, no matter what you can do, you can't stop it, you can't slow it down. The only thing you can do is just let it come in, destroy stuff, and just pick up the pieces after it's moved on. And that's what this Godzilla does here. I think that association with the term hurricane really is appropriate, because in this film, Godzilla doesn't really is like causing destruction or is willingly trying to cause destruction because he's evil or whatever. To me, this Godzilla seems like a wandering animal. I talked about this with Brutazilla. Huge shout out to you, because I know you're a huge Godzilla 1984 fan, as well as Godzilla fan 93 and Alexander Lugo, whatever. Huge shout out to y'all for being Godzilla 84 fans. I'm trying to be with y'all. But Godzilla 1984, 85, whatever, this Godzilla seems like that he's just a wandering animal. He's not necessarily confused, but he just goes about the earth wherever he goes. And wherever he goes, especially when it comes to a civilized situation, he's going to cause buildings to be destroyed. He's going to cause panic. He's still a threat. He's still dangerous or whatever. But it's not like he's willingly trying to do so. But then when the Super X comes in and tries to oppose him, that's when he really gets ticked off. So, you know what? I don't care. I'm just going to destroy everything and stuff like that. And basically, the city's destruction is more of a byproduct of them fighting, and more so of Godzilla wandering around because he's trying to figure the world out. That is the interpretation of the character of Godzilla for me in this film. And like I said, case in point, he's not the same Godzilla from the 54 film. But think about it, in the original 54 film, for one example, there's plenty of other examples, but the prime example for me that in Godzilla 54, Godzilla comes through, he's causing panic, he's causing mayhem, destruction. He picks up a train, puts it in his mouth, and he just throws it down to the earth with such force and brutality. In Godzilla 85, he picked up a train, but he was more so looking in it because he was curious what was in it, whatever. Then he just threw it away because nothing in there was of interest to him. So it's just little stuff like that makes this Godzilla film a little bit different than the 54. You know, they both are powerful, destructive incarnations of Godzilla, but I think this Godzilla, even though he's the antagonist of the film, I wouldn't call him more so of a villain, because villain is kind of a hard word, especially to describe this Godzilla. I just think, like I said, I think that his character in this film is just, he's more so of a wandering, curious animal. He just destined to walk the earth. And, you know, like I said, when you have an animal this big in a civilized situation, there's going to be problems. There's going to be destruction. There's going to be people in terror. There's going to be the military trying to oppose him, and Godzilla's going to get angry and destroy more stuff. But it's not because he willingly wants to do so. At least that's the interpretation I got from it. But I really do enjoy the film. I really do. Like I said, for nostalgia purposes, was one of the films that really defined my childhood. I really did enjoy it. And I enjoy it more so now as an adult. And that's a good thing. I think it's a great thing when you can watch these films when you're younger and appreciate them, but then you appreciate them a whole lot more when you look at them from a different perspective. I think that's good. And I think this film, you know, y'all should really just take a look at it and just really take a look at it for what it is. Unfortunately, the only problem is that we haven't seen a stateside release of this film, which really sucks. The only way you can get it is by maybe like Region 3 DVD or something, or you can get it from the Toho Blu-ray off of Amazon Japan and other retailers in Japan and get the Japanese version. And one thing I enjoy both films. As far as Godzilla 85, I think, like I said, I grew up with it. I think the 84 film is great because they flesh out the characters. You're able to care more about the characters, and you get more of a responsibility. Of course, there was the whole Cold War thing going on in the film, and but there were certain situations in the 84 film which really, really good. Like in one scene, when the superpowers come to Japan after they reveal that Godzilla is back or whatever, and the U.S. and the Soviets were like, "Come on, let's use nuclear weapons to get rid of Godzilla," and basically, the Prime Minister basically told them like, look, if Godzilla attacked one of your cities or whatever, would you be willing to destroy him using a nuclear bomb, knowing that most of your citizens would get killed? So it's stuff like that in that film really makes it more of an emotional and more fleshed out the characters where you can appreciate it more. I think the '85 film does a better job of pacing the film, whatever. They do a good job pacing the action sequences or whatever. So I kind of hold them very superior to the other one. So I can't put one over the other one. I like them both the same. I think they are both superior in both different aspects as far as the way they present the film, which is really, really good. As far as the '85 film, I mean, I love the film, and I know I could have done without the comedy a little bit, but it didn't drag down the film. And plus, Raymond Burr's monologue at the end of the film really, really made it worth it. So I highly suggest you go pick it up. Godzilla 1985, excuse me, The Return of Godzilla 1984 from Toho Blu-ray, whatever. If you have any questions on how to get it, comment at the comment section, and I can try and direct you or whatever. That's my thoughts on the film. I really do love the film. I understand why other folks love the film as well. As far as the figure is concerned, like I said, this is my very first X Plus figure, my very first X Plus first purchase. And sorry for being a little bit long-winded, but take this ride with me. It's like I told you, I let it go a long time ago just to get other things or whatever. I don't really like doing that because I don't really like selling my stuff, especially if I can help it. But my wife wanted GMK, so I had to do what I had to do. Because I knew there's a matter of time. This how it works, that if you let something go, eventually if you work hard and persevere and be at the right place at the right time, you're able to get what you lost. And ever since I let this figure go, it's been, I mean, I'm not ashamed of everything that I've accomplished as far as pieces I've collected, stuff I've gotten, or whatever. But I felt like that there was something missing with this figure being gone, because this was the first. So this was started all. After this came to Titanosaurus, Rodan, the Gigantic series. Everything about that I've collected as far as X Plus started with this guy right here. And by me not having it, it just felt kind of weird. So it feels coming full circle now, because I have it now. I have it back now, and I don't plan on letting it go ever again. And it just opened up so many doors for me for X Plus. It got me started on Facebook, the X Plus Collectors Facebook group, the Godzilla Collectors Facebook group, other Facebook groups. Like I said, mentioned before, I had the rip board. It had a little Chakras, so the little gigantic sea louse as a rip board option. I gave that to Burley Van. I think I sold it to him, and being him since then has been like really, really close friends, more so family. It allowed me to meet me a lot of people like Jeffrey Mulek, Richard Iso, Samson West, Brutazilla, Goji Fan 93, Alexander Lugo, Gary Quinn, Matt Jacobson, Gene Bates, Edwin Talavera, Christine Chapin, John Ruffin, Christopher Fielding, Ron McKay, Dane Marino, Jim Jenkins. So many people to be naming. You know who you are. I'm cool with it, whatever. Sorry if I didn't mention your name, but you know who you are. I salute every single one of you. It just opened up so many doors for me. And with this figure, it may not mean a lot to a lot. It may not mean a lot to a lot of folks, but this really means so much to me, having this guy back. Eric Dopko, John Bumpus, sorry, but it's just so many wonderful things have come for me just owning this figure and me getting started in X Plus and knowing more about other kaiju collecting companies out there like SH Monster Arts and Monster Maker 28 resin kits, and it just opened up so many doors. It just opened up so many wonderful opportunities. Me going to G-Fest and me going again this year. It just opened up so many wonderful things in my life, and it all traces back to this figure. And it really, really is awesome. It's really been a wonderful time, and I can't thank y'all enough. Maybe getting started on YouTube because of this figure. It's just so many things. And I thank every single one of you for being supportive, for being kind with your words, even with the criticism. I really do appreciate it. I know I say that a lot every now and then in my videos, but you have no idea what this really means to me and what y'all kind words and criticism, constructive criticism really means to me. It makes me want to provide better content. It makes me want to be better as a collector. It wants me to try to help out other folks, to help the next man out. And I want to give back, and that's the purpose of me doing these things. I want to give back to the fandom that has brought me so much love over the years. But yes, that's pretty much my story as far as the Godzilla '84. It's more so of a emotional and more so of how things got started with me with this figure. And now that I have it back, oh please, B, come on now. Are you that bored? That's my dog. Sorry. But it's brought so many wonderful things, and it all goes back to this figure. Now that I have it back, everything comes full circle. I'm looking forward to other things that S Plus has in store for us for this year and in years to come. Like I said, he may be. I think he's going to be up for reissue with the articulated jaw maybe, but I think he is going to be up for reissue. At this point, I don't really know when, but when he does, I highly suggest you pick it up. You will not be disappointed with the purchase. All right, so that concludes my review of the X Plus 30cm Godzilla 1984 from the epic iconic film right there. Godzilla 1985 or the Return of Godzilla 1984. If you have any questions, holler me down in the comment section. Or hit me up on Facebook, Bill Mont Calloway. We'll definitely go from there. Check out KaijuAddicts.com for all things X Plus. Once again, it's KaijuAddicts.com for all things X Plus, future, past, present figures, anything you want to know about reissues, anything you want to know about X Plus, go to that awesome website, KaijuAddicts.com. Check out the Facebook groups I'm about to mention, X Plus Collectors Facebook group, the Godzilla Collectors Facebook group, Toy Explosion, Japanese Toy and Figure Services, Sci-Fi Labyrinth, Toku Legion, and Toho Kaiju Union. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. Once again, thank you, Ricca Melillo. I'm sorry, I really am. I don't want to kill your name and whatever, but without you, I would not be able to get my hands on this figure, and I owe you a debt of gratitude because now you made things come full circle for me. And I thank you very much. And I thank y'all very much for watching. Thank you very much for listening to my story. I really do appreciate it. And I will see y'all again on this figure and move review. All right? Y'all take it easy. Welcome back, my friend.
Welcome back. Your dreams were your ticket out. Welcome back to that same old place that you laughed about. Well, the names have all changed since you hung around, but those dreams have remained and they've turned around. Who'd have thought they'd lead ya? Who'd have thought they'd lead ya? Back here where we need ya. Back here where we need ya. Yeah, we tease him a lot, 'cause we got him on the spot. Welcome back. 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 We always could spot a friend. Welcome back. And I smile when I think how you must have been. And I know what a scene you were learning in. Was there something that made you come back again? And what could ever lead you? What could ever lead you? Back here where we need you. Back here where we need you. Yeah, we tease him a lot, 'cause we got him on the spot. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. And I know what a scene you were learning in. Was there something that made you come back again? And what could ever lead you? What could ever lead you? Back here where we need you. Back here where we need you. Yeah, we tease him a lot, 'cause we got him on the spot. Welcome back.